Welcome to part 2 of the TodoGPT tutorial. Today we're going to be hooking up ChatGPT backend API with our front-end app. So first off, create a new file in the root folder called services, create a new folder called services. And inside of here, we're going to make a new Swift file. We're going to call this API helper. All right, next, I want you to go to beta.openai.com. This will prompt you to log in or create a new account. I've already created one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and log in. And I want you to go to the top right here, top right, and click the personal button, and then view API keys. And then we're gonna create a new one called YouTube tutorial. All right, and then copy this key since we won't be able to see it again, and you can leave this browser window. So we're just gonna make a variable constant called OpenAI key, and we're gonna paste it in. So this is my key. Don't try to use this key since I'm gonna be deleting this after the video is over, but I encourage you to make your own account so you can try it out too. So we're gonna make a function called fetch ChatGPT API. We're gonna give a body of data. We're gonna give a handler at escaping _ response, API response. So we haven't made this API response yet, so I'm actually gonna not do the handler yet. The handler is just something that we do to pass back the data to our application. And it's a different way of fetching API requests that are asynchronous, as you'll see in a bit. So first we have to create a URL. So we're gonna do guard-let URL because this might have an error, so we're gonna have to return it after. So this is the URL that we're gonna fetch it from. api.openai.com/v1/chat/completions. And we're gonna do else return. So if we're not able to create this URL from the string, we're just going to return, so we don't have anything breaking in our app. Now we have to make the request. So var request is equal to URL request. And we're going to pass in that URL. And we're going to set the request.http method as post. Since this is going to be a post request, then we also need to set some more headers. So this one, it's going to be the content type. And we need to set this as application/JSON. And then we also need to add I forgot the double quotes right here. Okay, request.setValue, and this is the second one. This is going to be our API token. So we're going to do bearer with a space and then backslash parentheses. This lets us use a variable, and I'm going to be using our OpenAI key. And then this will be authorization, like that. And then request.html body is equal to body. So this is going to be what we pass into the API. So like our request, like our messages and stuff. So here we're going to do let task is equal to URL session dot share dot data task. And we're going to say with request. And then for completion handler, I'm going to press enter and it'll give me data. We won't need the response, so I'm just going to do an underscore and then error. Inside of here, we're going to say guard let data is equal to data, error is equal to nil, else we're going to return. So we have to ensure that we do get some data and there's no error. Then we do a, actually, I just want to print the data for now. So I'm going to say print data. A small mistake right here, data will actually return something that's not readable for us. So we need to create an output string like so. And then we can print out the output string like that. And let's see, it's not an optional. So since we already checked over here, we don't need that. All right, there we go. As string, we will cast it to a string. All right, so we already made the folder in the last video, and we just need to populate it with chat. I'm gonna call it chat helper. And we're going to import SwiftUI. And we're gonna say class chat helper. It's gonna be of type observable object. And inside of here, let's do an app published messages and of type message data. So let's populate it first with one called how can I help you today .system. And oh, sorry, I forgot a var right here. And I want you to copy this. We're going to be writing two helper functions. First, this is going to convert messages to GPT. So we have to get it into the type that GPT wants. And we're going to need a new type called ChatGPT message. And so let's go over to our models and let's make this new type called struct ChatGPT message. We're going to ensure that it conforms to Codable, and we're going to set the role to be a string and the variable content to be also string. So it's going to have two attributes, role and string, like so. And now let's go back to our chat helper, and we're going to finish up this helper function. So we're going to say it's going to return an array of ChatGPT message. And we're going to set the messages to be ChatGPT message that. And I'm just going to populate it like so. Role system. This is going to be what we first give it as a sort of what is it? Context. We're going to give some context to we're going to give some context to our app or to the AI model. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this in the description, but we're going to copy a big string of text into I'll just put it in the models for now. All right, so I'm going to be putting this in the description. So just paste that in, let system prompt. It's going to be of type string, and I'm using the 3 double quotes to get a multi-line string. And this will be our context that we give the AI model beforehand, so it can return us the type of data that we do want. Okay, so let me type it again. All right, there we go. We're gonna say for message in messages. So it's a for loop iterating through these messages. And we're gonna say let new message is equal to ChatGPT message. Role, if it's a message.user, we do system. Otherwise we do, or sorry, if the user is a system, we do assistant. Otherwise we do user. And here we do message.content. So whatever was in the content of that array, whatever was in this object, we just pass it into here. And then GPT messages dot append new message. And then we can return GPT messages like that. So that should convert these messages into usable GPT messages, and now we just have to convert it into JSON so we can pass it in as data. So we're going to write another helper function, func convert object to JSON, and then inside the messages we're going to just pass ChatGPT message, and we're going to return data. So this is something that we can pass into our array helper or API helper. Okay. So temp messages is equal to messages. And here what I want to do is temp messages dot, and inside of here temp messages dot count -2. What I want to do is I want to update the content in here because I felt like when I was testing it, there were some issues with the model not remembering some of the responses, so it wouldn't pass back correct JSON. So what I do is I just paste in this part. Don't worry, this will be on the GitHub and in the description. Don't worry about writing it down. This is just like one of the prompts that I use that worked out, and you can just like experiment with it by yourself. Maybe you can get a better one, and maybe you can share it in the comment below, and then help everyone else out too, like that. Okay, so we're gonna create messages data here, and then here we need to make a we haven't made chat request, so let's go back into models and we have to make a new type. No, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna say struct chat request codable, and here we're just gonna say model string, and then by default it's gonna be ChatGPT 3.5-turbo. So this is the ChatGPT model name, and we'll just set messages as ChatGPT message, like that. So this will give us our the correct object that we need to pass into the API. You can find this on the API documentation on OpenAI's website. But what we're gonna, where were we? Sorry, chat helper. So we're gonna go back to chat helper, and then we're going to update the message data now with chat request, and then we're just gonna say temp messages are the message data. So here we need a JSON encoder to create our JSON. So JSON encoder, I'm gonna create that object, and then let JSON data is equal to try. I'm just gonna do a force, a bang like that, and then JSON encoder dot encode messages data, and then let JSON is equal to string data, JSON data, and then we're gonna encode it with string dot encoding dot utf8. Okay. Here, I'm going to print the JSON, and then we're going to return it. So on initialization of this class, we're going to do convert object to JSON, and then inside the message, we're going to say convert messages to GPT. So we're going to see this print out what our data is. Oops, I forgot to return it. Okay, and then back in our content view, we're going to be calling this function. But we have a small error. Sorry, I did data by accident. Okay, so we're gonna go back to content view, and here I'm gonna say state object, and we're gonna say var chat model is equal to chat helper, like that. Or actually, I don't really want to put it in the chat model. I want to put it in let's see, let's put it in the home view actually. Okay, so I'll put it in the home view, like here. Whoops, forgot. There we go. So I just copy and pasted it there, and now let's go and run it, and let's look at it real quick. Okay, so this is our data. So this looks right to me. We have the model right here, GPT 3.5 turbo, and then we have our array of content. That looks good to me. And now let's go to the next step. We're actually gonna be calling the data. So let's go back to our chat help, make another function. We're gonna do func. Actually, this can be a private function too. Okay, so func send message. Actually, no, we're gonna do this first. Func get AI response dispatch queue dot main dot async, because this is gonna be on the main thread. We're gonna update the UI here, so let's just make a note, update UI here, and then we're gonna say let JSON body is equal to convert object to JSON, convert message to GPT, that, and then fetch ChatGPT AI API, and then we're gonna say JSON body. So what we're gonna do is, let's see, should we call, for now I'm gonna do another message data because we don't have our UI mapped yet. Help me plan out my day. user. Okay, so this is just going to be something for tests. We're going to take this off later. And when we run this, let's just say get AI response. I think we need to do it like this, task, since it is a async function. Let's see if that runs. Oops, oh wait, there we go. Now we're going to check the console to see if it printed anything out. All right, we're supposed to print something. Oh, over here, I forgot to do task.resume. So this is a mistake that a lot of people make, me included. So task.resume, you have to say task.resume, otherwise it won't run this API call. So make sure you do it after, right here, on line 33. Oh, okay, so we had a slight typo right here in assistant. Okay, let's go back to the chat view chat helper. And here we're gonna change this to be assistant, spelled correctly. Now let's run it again, and let's see. Let's go ahead and search QuickType in Google. And the first suggestion that comes up is this really nice web app that you're able to paste in sort of your raw JSON data, and then it'll convert it into types for you. So this is they have a lot of different languages. Make sure you're on Swift. And if you don't already have a name that you chose, I picked chat response, so you can use that as well. We're just gonna copy everything over here. And we're gonna go back, and here I'm gonna put it in chat helper, API helper. And let's just go ahead and paste it right there. And now we're able to decode it. So now let's go over to, let's stay in our API helper, and let's go to our function. Instead of just printing out the output string, I'm gonna comment that out. And instead, we're going to be decoding this into Swift objects that we can actually use. So we're gonna say, this is gonna throw. So we're gonna do a do catch, and then print error. And then inside of here, we're gonna say let response is equal to try JSON decoder dot decode, and then chat response dot self. And then we're gonna do it from data, and it should give us our object now. So if we say let JSON string is equal to response.choices, the first one in the array message, so we can get like autocomplete, like let's see, and then we'll just let's say we're gonna say print JSON data for now, print JSON string for now. And then let's just look at what it looks like right now. Okay, so it said response, or it's giving us in it's giving us into a JSON format like I prompted it to. So it gives us a response and a new to do, like so. I'm gonna put it in awesome JSON Viewer Pro, or I think they might have changed the name. Yeah, JSON Viewer Pro. So you can find this on Google Chrome, and I'm just going to open this up in development. And here, I'm going to show you guys what our data looks like. Parse JSON. Okay, so this is what we prompted it to return. This is actually our content. So usually ChatGPT would give us like a string like, great, let's help plan out your day or something. But in this case, I'm making it return us an actual object like so, and it's giving us an array of new to-dos. So this is what we're going to use to be able to see or give ChatGPT the ability to kind of control our app. So these new to-dos are going to be the things that we parse later in order to add new to-dos. and this response is just going to be what it says back to the user. Okay, so now that you know what this is, we're going to get this response, and we're going to again go back to QuickType, and we're going to open up QuickType, and we're going to paste it in like so. Here, actually, let's change up this code real quick so then we can actually see what we can see this array be populated. So we're going to go to chat helper. Just say I'm studying for my AP calculus exam. And then we'll give it, see what it returns us, and then we'll just put it back into QuickType. Okay, nice, it gave us some to-dos. So let's go over to QuickType, and let's see. Okay, so this is what I wanted, yeah. Because the last one was empty, so QuickType wasn't able to infer what kind of data type the new to-do would be in, but it's always going to be in strings. So let's go back and let's copy this and go to Xcode. Let's go back to our API helper, paste it underneath. Actually, we can't be calling this message. We have to call it API response, like that. Okay. So that works. Okay, so let's see if we can decode everything now. So let's go over here and we're gonna say, do another do catch. And then error decoding final JSON. So we know that this one had an error at the end instead of at the beginning. And we're gonna come here and say let decoder, JSON decoder, let API response is equal to try decoder dot decode API response dot self from JSON data instead of normal data. Or we haven't made the JSON data yet, so we need to do JSON string, and then we're gonna make it into data using .utf8. Okay, so this can be banged like that. Okay, and let me just okay, so we want to return this as an object, so we're gonna go up here and I'm gonna make a completion handler. So the way we do that is handler and then at escaping underscore response, return it of type API response. Okay, great, we have, okay, making sure we didn't misspell anything. This is gonna be an optional because we might have an error and it won't return anything. Plain text, string. So the reason why I'm doing plain text right here is because sometimes my prompt isn't perfect, and sometimes it does return it in plain text instead of in the JSON format that I wanted. So that's just a case so that it won't break our entire app. And then outside of these parentheses, we do an arrow and then parentheses again. So this should fail because we need to deal with it over here, but I'm just gonna add the handler right here before we forget. Handler API response, and this one will be nil, so the string will be nil. But if we have an error decoding it, that means it didn't return us actual JSON. We'll do handler nil and then response dot choices 0 and then dot message dot content. So this will just give us the string output as opposed to us actually getting the string output and then decoding it. So okay. So over in chat helper, we're gonna have an error because we're missing the handler. So we're just gonna add that on, press enter. Okay, so it's not auto-completing, it's okay. So we're just gonna close this and then type handler by hand again. And then we're gonna press enter again. Okay, so now in this code, what we're going to do is we're gonna print out, okay, so let's say if let response is equal to response, print response. There we go. Okay, let's run it and just want to see the output real quick. Okay, nice. So it gave us exactly what we wanted, like so. And we can even go in here and say, I want dot response or I want dot new to do. So this gives us the array or the string. Great, so we have it in our Swift object now, and we can actually deal with it. So before we do that, I want to comment this out. We actually want to add another function so the user can actually interact with our chat app. So what we do is func send message, and we do chat message. Okay, so what I don't really want them to see, or when you're calling this function, I don't want to have to see chat message here, since like message, we already know it's going to be sending a message. It'll be easier to read like that way. So if we put an underscore in front of it, it won't show. So when I say send message, it doesn't have a chat message before, like so. Okay, so we're gonna say dispatch queue.main.async. Since this will update the UI, self.messages.append chat message. Okay, so now we have to hook up this message with our front end. So we're gonna go over to our home view, and let's see, where are we doing our chat? Okay, so chat view right here. Wait, what is this? Okay, yeah, it's in here. So we need to go in, and yeah, we have our dummy messages right here. So instead of that, we're gonna say at state object var chat helper chat model is of type chat helper. And let's go back to our home view, and we're going to have some errors because we need to pass that in. Okay, this is fine. We don't need the previews anymore. So I want to see this having an error. So I'm gonna fix this. We're just gonna whoa. Okay, chat model, and then we're just gonna pass in this chat model over. So chat model like that, and then let's go over here, and then I'm gonna comment this out, and then we should get some errors. Dummy message, yep. And instead we do want it to have chat model.messages. So let's see if it does show up. Okay. So this send button shouldn't work yet since we haven't built it out, but this is good that we have our message populated on the model instead, the chat helper, instead of just dummy data. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, look at this, and then we're gonna deal with it in this button. So let's say send message. And we're gonna create the function right here. We won't need this dummy data anymore. So send message, let new message, message is equal to message data, content typing message. So whatever the user was typing, and then we're gonna set it as .user. Since whatever the user types and presses send, it has to be what they inputted. So we're gonna do chat helper, or sorry, chat model dot send message, and then just our new message. And after that, we're gonna set typing as nothing. And here we need a task because this is an async function. So await chat helper dot get a API response. Oh wait, sorry. I think I put it as private, but it's actually easier if we change it to public. Wait, it is public. Let's see. All right, let me go back here and await chat helper dot. Okay, never mind. Okay, there we go. Misspelling by me, sorry. Okay, so now we're gonna run it, and let's see if we have it working. So let's say I'm studying for my calculus, AP calculus exam. If we send it, and there we go, does go through. And let's see if it starts. Okay, great. So we do have the response here, but we didn't have that typing thing. So how do we get that typing thing? We need to, let's see, add that to our sendMessage function over here in our chat helper. So I'm thinking let me make sure, so right here, I'm gonna click this button right here, and this will give me a sidebar. So we need to do some debugging real quick. We need to go check when we have the loading. So I'm gonna paste right here. Remember we did do loading like that. I'm gonna ensure that was right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're gonna have a timer variable or a published function or variable, published function. Sorry, published variable in our chat helper, and this is gonna dictate whether we're loading or not. So is loading, so type boolean, it's gonna be false. So when we go in and send a new message, where should we put it? Let's put it over here and get AI response. So when it is loading, we set self.isLoading is equal to true, and we say self.messages.append new message. Well, type is message data, and we say content loading dot system. So this will give us the loading animation. And when we do finish right here, I'm gonna say self.isLoading is equal to false. And then self.messages.pop last. And we're gonna set self.messages.append message data. Content is going to be response.response. Actually, let's change this name. Let's change it to API response. So it's a little more readable API response. And then this is going to be system. And actually, I don't think we do need this loading. Yeah, let's not add stuff that we don't need. So I guess we don't need the loading variable because we have, as long as we have our last message as loading, then it'll just always be, it'll tell the users that we're loading. So let's say I'm studying for my AP calculus exam. Okay, so it did start loading, and let's see if we populate it. Nice. Okay. Yes, that would be great. All right, nice. So we've successfully added ChatGPT backend, the ChatGPT API to our backend, and it's completely working. And with our app, we're able to chat with it, and it also gives us back a JSON format that we can use in the next part, where we're going to control the UI with it. All right, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave, or sorry, before we finish, actually, we do have some issues. Okay, so let's see, publishing data. This means we need dispatch.queue.main right here. So we're missing that down here. So we're going to add this like so, since we are updating the UI with the code here. So we have to put it inside the dispatch queue. Let's run it again just to make sure that everything's working. For my AP US. Okay, so we didn't get any more errors. There we go. So I hope this was a really informative video. This was definitely a lot harder than the other videos that I've put out. The concepts that we went over, like encoding, decoding JSON, making a bunch of different structs to create our custom types like we did in the models, and then parsing it from string, encoding and decoding it back and forth. Like I said before, calling APIs, these are all, like, I would say, intermediate topics. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to help you out.